Greetings and welcome to Miles More Motivation, the show that's designed to give you more happiness, fulfillment, and obviously more motivation. In this episode, we're going to talk about how do you succeed in every single area. I had a coaching client recently who came to me feeling quite overwhelmed. He was kind of stressed out. And I asked him, what's bothering you? Let's pretend his name's Dave. And I said, what's kind of getting to you, Dave? And he said, well, this coaching process that you've got me on is stressing me out. So really, why? Tell me why, so I can solve that for you. And he said, well, now I realise that I'm overwhelmed because I'm trying to be a good father, and I'm trying to be a good husband, and I'm trying to work out, and I'm trying to work on my business, and now I've got too much to think about. And I said, I didn't laugh at him, but I said, so what you're basically telling me is you're doing life. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, well, you haven't actually talked about anything other than the components of life that everybody has to go through, right? You are a dad, so unless you want to just kind of leave your wife and children, which I'm guessing you don't want to do, then you've got to do that bit. Unless you want to leave your business or your career and then not have money coming in to pay the bills, then feel free to do that. Unless you want to kind of have poor health, then be my guest, don't work out, right? So the point of the conversation, the moral message of the conversation was, he realized very quickly that what was overwhelming him was a realization that he'd been succeeding in one or two areas. He'd been prioritizing one or two areas, but he hadn't been succeeding in every area. And when he realized that kind of certain areas he was a kind of 9 and 10 out of 10 and was kind of smashing it, but then at home, his level of romance, intimacy, presence with his wife was like a 2, it kind of overwhelmed him because he realized there's work I need to do in that area. And it's probably fair to say that you may not be succeeding in every area. I know the only reason I'm now doing better, I'm not 10s in every area, but the reason I'm doing better is because I get coached on this stuff on a regular basis. And I rate myself in each area every single month to kind of go, what do I need to do to improve? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I do, 3 things my clients do, 3 really common sense ways that you can succeed in every area. And I've actually got a tool that I will share with you called a life evaluation indicator. So it's a tool that is a scorecard, so you can kind of see where you are now, where you want to get to, and what habits need to be in place for you to succeed. So let me kind of share with you my take on how to succeed in every area. And there's 3 really common sense steps. First, you need to have what we call life segment goals. If you're familiar with or even unfamiliar with, there's this thing called the Wheel of Life, which presupposes that there are probably about 7 or 8 component parts to every human being, at least in the Western world. There's family, there's friends, there's lover, as in intimate partner, there's travel, there's career and mission, there's finances, there's adventure. So there's health, there's a plethora of areas that are important, been kind of proven to be important to us in the West. In fact, even in the East as well, science shows that this is not just a Western thing, but we're talking about the West for today. And so what most people do is they succeed in 1 or 2 areas, and they see that as a reason to not be doing well in other areas. I'm doing well in business, that's why I don't have time for my health. Or I'm doing really well in my health, so that's why I don't have time for my business. Or they'll say, I often work with single men and single women who'll say, I don't have time for romance because I'm working on my career. And the fact is, whether we like it or not, we all have kind of 7 or 8 areas inside of us that we are thinking about, whether we're talking about them subconsciously, they're areas that we're aware of. And so what you want to do, my recommendation to you, is that you have at least 1 goal, and I actually recommend no more than 1 goal in each particular life area if you're looking to succeed in every area. So what does that mean? Well, that means you want to have if you're, say, married with kids, is you want to have a specific goal for your marriage. And that might be around kind of level of intimacy, the kind of connection, the quality of the marriage you want to have. You want to have a goal for your relationship with your children. You want to have a goal for your health. You want to have one goal for your finances. You want to have one goal for your spirituality. You want to have one goal for your career mission. You want to have one goal for your relationship with your friends, for example. By doing that, what the benefit of that is it reduces the overwhelm, because often what often happens, I found with my clients, is they will be an entrepreneur, for example, and so they'll have like 6 business goals and that's it. And then they wonder why another area of their life is kind of falling off. I'm doing really well in business, and for some reason my wife just keeps shouting at me. I'm like, is your wife in your goals? And they're like, oh. Or they're like, my health's really good, but my business is struggling. Or my health's really good, but I keep jumping from job to job. I don't enjoy my work. Are you clear about the kind of career and mission that you want to have? Or is it just about kind of paying the bills? And there's nothing wrong with that, but what I'm saying is, my recommendation is that having one goal in each particular area of your life means that you're more likely to have what we call holistic success, means that you're winning in every area, or at least progressing in every area. Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness, right? So at least if you're making progress in every area, you don't have to have the perfect body. If you all of a sudden today were to score your health at 2, but then you went out for a long walk and it's the first time you've done it in 3 weeks, you will instantly feel better than before you went for that walk. So progress equals happiness. Really important that you know that. Next, you need what we call life segment habits. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is you need to be clear about what are the habits that are going to get you to the goal you want to get to. So let's say you want to work on your health. Then what are the habits that are going to get you there? And you might want to have 2 or 3 habits. So for me, one of them is I operate on a calorie deficit of about 500 calories a day. So that's one goal I have. So that's great in terms of dropping body fat, etc. That's one of my goals. I have a goal about the certain amount of greens and vegetables that I eat in a day. And I have a goal about the certain amount of workouts that I have in a week. They are 3 key habits, if I did nothing else in the course of a week, would move me forward in the area of my health. So you want to think about what would be some of your life segment habits. And the last is arguably the most important thing to kind of tie in with the first point, with the second point we just made, is you need what we call life segment scheduling. And what that effectively means is, it's great to have a goal. So I want to lose 3 stone. Okay, cool. And then you're clear about the habits. Okay, I've got 3 habits. I know I need to eat this. I need to work out this. I need to sleep this. Brilliant. Then you need to schedule them in. I find a lot of people that come to me for coaching are telling me, Miles, my relationship with my wife is not the way I want it to be. And then we start to talk about romance, and I say, have you scheduled that? And they go, schedule intimacy. I'm like, yes. I'm like, are you scheduling meetings for your business? Like, yes. I'm like, so schedule intimacy. I'm like, now that doesn't mean that you have to do it at the exact, it's 7 o'clock, darling. It's time for hanky panky. But here's what I will say. I use Google Calendar, and on my calendar I have coaching calls, workout, time to play with my daughter. Intimacy is on my calendar. Now, is that intimacy always happening at that exact time? No, but the fact that it's there's a phrase which is, you get what you focus on. So if you're not giving attention, if you're not focusing on what it is you want, if you're not scheduling it, it's never going to happen. So you need to be scheduling these habits. If you say, I want to walk in nature, that's one of my habits. If I look at your diary and it's not scheduled in every single day, or the amount of times in the week you want to do it, if it's not on a physical, tangible calendar that sends you a notification to tell you that you've got to do it, it ain't going to happen, right? So it needs to be scheduled. So that's it. How to succeed in every area, really simple, common sense, but not necessarily common practice. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, hit like, hit share, book yourself in for a coaching call. There's a link below for that, and I will